All right, this is the Algebra 2, Unit 8, Lesson 1, video over exponential functions. You'll want to do reading first, just read over and look at the example graphs that they give you. But in general, when we talk about an exponential function, we're most interested in the number that's being multiplied or rather, sorry, the number that is the base, the b number. So this right here says, the exponential function has this form a times b raised to the cx. But what we're most interested in is the base number. Okay, so what we're going to be doing is making comparisons between different bases. So looking at like this example right here, I have h of x is 0.5 to the x, f of x is 2 to the x, and gx is 1.25 to the x. You see how the graphs differ based on all of those different things. So there is a summary in this graph that kind of explains what happens when you change the base number. So just to show you how we do this on the calculator, let me jump over to Desmos. And this would be like y equals do 2 raised to the x power. And so you can see this is how you're going to be typing in these exponential functions. And the number that you're going to be interested in is this 2. And we're going to be changing that base number. And we're going to be seeing what happens when I do multiple different base numbers. And we're going to be making comparisons between those different things. So just to get an idea of what we're talking about, let me put up a few different functions here. So we have 3 lines: blue, red, green. Blue is 2 to the x, red is 3 to the x, and green is 5 to the x. And you can see how the graph is changed based on the changing base. The larger the base, the more quickly the graph increases once it crosses the y-axis, which is why this green line is going up more quickly after it crosses the y-axis. Before that, we can see it actually goes below. So the lines kind of switch where they're located. And that's kind of the key information and what's described in this table. So I'm going to show you really all you have to do. You got vocab questions first. But then starting at number 5, it says if f of x is 3 to the x and g of x is 7 to the x, then the graph of f will be blank to the graph of g when x is greater than 0. So let's just put those in over here. We already have 3 to the x. Let's just change this one and change it to 7. All right. So we have our red and our green lines, and let's see if we can interpret the graph. It says which one f, which is the 3. So how does f and g, how are they related when x is greater than 0? In other words, in this section of the graph over in the positive section over here. So we're talking about this section of the graph here where it goes into the positive section of the x. So where my cursor is right now. So we know that the red is the 3 to the x. Let's click on that guy. And let's see. That graph, is it the same? No, it's not the same. Below or above, and then base and 1, these are junk answers. Neither of those are going to be the answer for these types of questions. It's either below or above. Well, we can see that the 3 is going to be below the graph of the 7x when we're looking at the graph of those two functions. Got a little bit of a freeze here on there we go. So we can see the red line is below the green line, and so I would say below. And that's pretty much what you're going to do for the rest of this unit. So you're going to do the same thing here for 0.5 and 0.3x. Graph both of those functions, and then make a comparison on the graph between the two functions. So in all of those, you're going to be doing that. So just type those things in there. So like we'll have 0.3 and 0.5, right? So we see we have this, and then it says the graph of f of x, which is the 0.5. So the green, is it above, below, or the same when x is less than 0? So that means now I'm looking in this section of the graph where my cursor is now, over here. So we can see the green is below the red, so then you'd answer accordingly. Starting at number 7, you just need to, again, use the graphing system to determine the dotted line versus the solid line, which one would be which. So you're going to graph these two functions and then see which one matches the graph. And you can use these different points to help you, or you can just use where they're located in reference to each other. All right. So that's number 8, or no, it was number 7. Number 8, more of the same. Graph the two functions, compare the graphs. Number 9, graph and compare. Number 10, graph and compare. All those are the same. Then you have review questions about matrices, multiplying, and then finding the roots of a quadratic equation. You should be fine doing that. And that is it for lesson 1.